Hello and welcome to Goodwood. What a splendid day it is today. Perfect kind of day to go up in a warbird. And we're here at Spitfires.com, Hangar 8 at Goodwood, just having a chat with the chaps. A cup of tea before we head off in Jersey Jerk. Fantastic aeroplane now that we've got RandallSnow's P-51 mod, the wonderful Echo 19 sound mod, and of course this beautiful repaint by Bomber 12th. This is such a joy to fly. We finally have a P-51D in hello, yes, I am a warbird pilot. Yes, hello, yes, look at my green flying suit. Yes, you can just about see it. Oh blimey, you nearly saw my innards then. Not a good sight. Okay, so let's jump inside. Let's get the right key. There we go. So yeah, it's a really nice place to be now. Of course, and Lewis, I'm looking at you, sunshine. I know, twice in 2 days. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Anyone would think that I had a few days off, and that I'd suddenly had the urge to stream. Madness. When will it end? Hello, I just noticed my rudder pedal moved. That's strange. I'm not even touching it. Yes, this is of course a wonderful P-51D, and for people like me who remember the A2A P-51D in FSX and P3D, it's been a struggle. Well, it has for me anyway. Hey, look, let's get this right from the start. It's all about personal choice. I'm not here to tell you what aircraft to fly or what aircraft to enjoy. There's a lot of people out there who are enjoying various different aircraft. It doesn't mean that anyone is right or wrong. I just personally have struggled to find a P-51D that I enjoyed flying until I now have this combination of RandallSnow's mod, the Asobo P-51D, and the Echo 19 sounds, which add so much immersion to it. It's just incredible. But that's what it's about. You fly what you enjoy, don't you? So if you enjoy flying other P-51Ds, then that is blooming marvellous, because that's what it's about. Right, okay, so just notice my view has... There we go, let's get you back sorted. Right, I thought I saw a Hellcat over there. Very quickly, just to say, you can fly along if you want to. We're on the Western Europe server. We are here at Goodwood, EGHR, Echo Golf Hotel Romeo. And the first thing we're going to do is fly to Duxford. This is, for me, it reminds me of a flight many years ago. And Lewis, you might remember this, where I want to say it was on a Sunday or something, and a few of us started off at Duxford in P-51Ds, and we ended up flying as far as Shetland because we just kept saying, "Oh, should we do another leg? Should we go on?" And it was a really nice flight. It was really good, and we didn't have a clue where we were going to end up. And this may or may not be a little bit like that. I've set Duxford as the first destination, but who knows? We might end up going somewhere else as well. We will see. Right, anyway, I need to just get my head back in gear, just checking the head tracking again. There we go, get a nice comfortable view. So the wind today is not too bad, 6 knots, 5 knots from 274, so we're going to be taking runway 28, and we don't have ATC to confuse issues today, so I will remember to take the right runway for anyone that watched yesterday. Can't fly along, got moving and work. Oh, okay. Nice one, mate. So you're all getting set up and moving and all that sort of thing. That's good. Yeah, it was a long day, wasn't it? I can't remember how long it took us, but I just remember we flew from Duxford to somewhere else, and then we said, "Oh, should we just go on to?" And it just carried on until we ended up at Sunborough. But yeah, it was really nice. Oh, we got a couple in now. Let's have a quick name check. There we go. Woody Witt, Mac 06, good to see you. Always good to see familiar names. Right. Okay. I will try and keep the waffle down to a minimum because that's always a good thing. So I'm just checking my physical controls are all set up. That's good. Right. Flap is up, and our carb air control is ram air, not filtered, so that's good. Happy with that. I'm just going to pop these down, and I must remember to open those. Rudder, if I... Here we go. Come on. Where has my click spot gone? There we go. Just get a bit of right rudder in. Come here. Yeah, I should have thought of that before I lowered that down, really. Get that to 5. There we go. Open you again. Going to have a little bit of elevator trim, not a huge amount. Right, throttle is cracked, mixture is idle, cut off, and prop is fully forward. That's all good. We'll turn the fuel cock on now. Just double checking my parking brake is on. It is. That's all good. We've got the right wing tank on. I have got some fuel in the fuselage. Must remember to switch to that so we can burn that. The only odd thing with this one is that you don't really have, there doesn't seem to be a needle on the fuse fuel tank that does anything. So I have to check the menu for that just to keep an eye on things. Okay, I noticed the brake moving again there. What's moving the brake? Something's twitching it. I'm doing that now, but if I just... No, okay. I'm watching you. Right. Okay, let's... another thing just to say while we start. Very interesting for for some, maybe not for everybody. We were having a discussion on the Discord the other day. Yes, we have a Discord, and while I can still type, Streamlabs will be popping it into the chat as we go along, but I'll just manually put it in there. We were having a discussion in the Discord about actually it might not have been my Discord, it might have been Randall's Discord. Anyway, we were talking about using the mags in the P-51D, because the old World War II checklists tell you to set mags to both before you engage the starter, but shortly after the war it appears that changed to putting the mags to both after you've counted 6 blades. So it could well be something that was discovered after the war just to preserve engine life or something like that. It's funny how kind of post-war operations changed in different ways, and I can only imagine, as I say, it's to prolong the life of the engine or something like that, or just it was discovered it was better practice to do it that way. So we're going to use the post-war method of switching to both after we've counted the blades. And one of the beauties about this mod, RandallSnow mod, is you can actually do that. That's all in there. Right, I said I wasn't going to waffle too much, and I'm doing a grand job of waffling. So anyway, we got there, we've done that, we've got that on, we've got the fuel cock open. Let's have the battery, and then while I remember, just going to open these while we're on the ground. And then we'll set those to auto just before takeoff. Just a precaution, really, especially as I'm streaming and waffling. Don't want anything nasty to happen. Okay, so let's have fuel booster on, and we check over here. We've got fuel pressure. That's marvellous. Prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all good, and we'll get that guard lifted. Right, so I have now got my hand on the mixture control, because as soon as she fires, that is going to go into run down there. Okay, let's get my head in a position where I can actually see what I'm doing. Set it there. By the way, if if it's a bit noisy, I've just noticed it is a little bit noisy. Let me know if you can't hear me. I said, let me know if you can't hear me. Oh, isn't that beautiful sound? Beautiful, beautiful sound. Just get some cinematics in while we're warming up a bit. Hear this, how the sound changes. Let's not walk into the propeller, please. Safety first. Do you know what, Lewis, mate? I've got to say, I don't know if it's absence makes the heart grow fonder, but the Spit will always be my first love. But the more and more I go, the more I fall in love with the Mustang. Used to love it in P3D. By the way, in all seriousness, can you guys hear me? I've got a different mix in my headset than you've got on the stream, and so I'm hearing my headset mix, and the Mustang is very loud and very beautiful. And now, there we go. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. My headset microphone control isn't exactly the best. Nice one. Cheers, guys. Much appreciated. Okay, so where are our temps? Our temps are good. The carb air temp doesn't seem to work in the Asobo P-51D, so there's not much we can do about that. Yeah, also, Lewis, I've got the canopy open, so that will have a bit of effect on it, hopefully. But you're right, once we get in the air, it's going to go crazy. Okay, let's get cracking. Check the brake. Yeah, that's good. Stick back, so I've got a modicum of steering control without free car string. So we'll just weak around here. I see there's another Mustang out there. Always great flying with other warbirds. This, of course, is Burning Blue Designs. Excellent. Hello, we've got someone up there. Excellent, Goodwood. I'm just seeing if he's moving. I don't think he is. Oh, he is. I'm just going to come around the front. Just going to push the stick forward a bit so I can free cast it just to tighten the turn. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Let's watch that we don't go slamming into anybody. That would be a bit embarrassing, wouldn't it? Morning! Morning, yes. Okay. Just going to bring us round here. do a quick run-up check. Just a quickie. Okay, that's so good. Right, let's close the canopy now. Let's have a quick check. Nothing on final. Let's see if I can take off without making complete balls up of it. I have to say, one of the reasons for me doing this flight is to just get a bit more familiarisation with the Mustang. Is always a good thing. Okay, so quick check down there. We can close that now. That's all good. We can put the radiators to automatic. Get the click spot. Come on. There we go. Landing light on. Mixture is set to run. Props fully forward. Everything else is fine. We'll have the pitot heat on. And I'll put the position lights. The radio I'll put on, but we're not using it. No ATC today. Okay, let's go. Set climb power. Hello Jay, this is very similar to Track IR. It's the Grass Monkey King Puck system, but it works on the same principle. Just a little bit more accurate and a lot cheaper. There is fantastic Goodwood. Splendid. Okay, so I'm going to come back to a more gentle cruise power setting now. And we can actually, let's come around this way. Just going to put the labels on a second. There we go. We've got Ozone Flight, we've got Mako 6, and we've got anyone over here? We've got Woody Wit. Nice to see you, chaps. Tip in. That's interesting. I noticed this. My Goodwood house sometimes appears and sometimes doesn't. I wonder if it's an LOD thing. Let's have another look. No, today it's not there. How odd. Very strange. Oh no! Mach 06 is down. Send out search and rescue. There's the old race course. Fly over for the grandstand. Okay, enough of this horseplay. Let's get on course. We'll be here all day. Interesting. My head tracking seems to be blocked. I'll have to have a look at that. Okay. Just doing a bit of trimming. Quite sensitive with the elevator trim, I find. Just a little bit of aileron trim as well, just to counter the torque. At some point I will risk doing a flyby view. For some reason, sometimes, and to be fair, it's only happened twice, flyby view can sometimes crash my MFF, so I have to be a bit careful with that. Oh, I know what this is. Here we go, let's get down into the cloud. We're just flying over Petworth, and there is a rather nice stately home here, so just want to see if we've got that in the sim. So another highly illegal low flight about to take place. Just check that we're not over speeding. Can we see much? hot. We've got a little bit of Dunder Mifflin going on. Okay, onwards. Onwards, brave aviators. Oh, that's right, I wanted to have a look at my... there we go. I see what I need to do. Bear with me, I'm just fiddling with my head tracking settings. That's better. Just changing the exposure on the camera. Eric, good question, my friend. Good question. Quite possibly going to be streaming some HEMS tomorrow morning, and people can always tag along for that, which is kind of like an impromptu group flight. The next organised group flight is this Friday evening in Warbirds, so if you're into your Warbirds, if you like group flights, then come along to the Discord, and we'll be doing that on Friday evening, flying across Texas from the green of the east to the brown of the west, and then at some point we will have a proper big organised helicopter group flight as well, because they're always good fun. So here's Dunsfold. This is where at one point Top Gear was filmed. Not a huge amount of detail in the sim, but I just thought I'd have a look at it. Just buzz the tower, because it'd be rude not to. Have a look here. Going to increase the RPM. Leave them. Yeah, I'm going to leave the manifold where it is. Check the speed. Tipping in. Tally-ho. See, this is the exact opposite of the kind of flying we were doing yesterday, where we had ATC telling us what to do, and we were having to be very sensible. Ah, great stuff. Glad you're in there, Eric. Yeah, there's an event set up for it, but also check out the group flights plans, and that has the details in there. So, we will come in and buzz the tower. Get back on course and try and be a little bit more professional about this. There we go. Always good fun. Okay, back on the RPM. Calm everything down a little bit. think that says Paxo. Thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated. Good to have you along. It is Paxo. Excellent. I've had a couple of people in the past question why I've got a pilot flying the aircraft with a modern bone dome and flying suit on, and that's because when I fly warbirds in the sim, I'm flying as a restoration aircraft. So a lot of modern warbird pilots flying restoration aircraft are flying in green flying suits, brown flying suits, whatever, and bone domes as opposed to old leather flying helmets. So that's the reason why. Simple as that. It says, not very realistic. Pilots didn't dress like that. Well, I'm not pretending to be in World War II. I'm pretending to be flying a warbird right now in the modern world, because we're flying over the modern world in the sim. C'est simple, n'est-ce pas? Okay, let's get back in here. Have a quick look around. Now, I want to... There we go. Let's stick it onto the fuse tank, just to burn off some fuel from there. Get back under the cloud. I am very conscious that I am on multiplayer. Let's nameplates on. I'm on multiplayer and about to fly into the approach of Heathrow. So we've got a choice. We can either go high or we can go low, and I'm thinking go low. Not too low, but we're going to fly over the centre of London anyway. So I will go for the low option. There's Heathrow over there. There's someone on approach. Don't want to ruin anyone's flight, so we'll keep out of their way. I hate it when the sim pauses like that, and it's more than just a little pause. You think, oh, is this it? Is this where it's gonna? Is this where the sim is gonna crash? Okay, right. So engine's looking fine. I'm just going to come back a little bit on the manifold pressure there. We're actually going to be just to the west of the centre of London, keeping away from the skyscrapers. Tucking in nicely under the approach to Heathrow. Loving the detail. Eric, can you expand on that? Are you asking what is my forward operating base, or what are you asking? Just so I can be clear. There's the shard. Getting a little bit of stuttering now. Well, it was just loading some bits and pieces in. Fuel on board. You're getting technical now. I'll show you in a second. There's Alexandra Palace, right? Is that? Yeah, that's Ali Pali, isn't it? Been a long time since I've been there. The old man took me to I think it was a model show in the 80s. Darbization. Pleasure to have you here, sir. From Australia. Funny enough, I was having a chat with some ex-colleagues last night, talking about how their children have two families, and they've had at least one child in each family who's moved to Australia, which meant to be like a temporary thing, and have decided no, much better, much prefer Australia, we're staying. Okay, I think I can probably take the labels off now. We're clear of the busy bit. Right, Eric was asking about the fuel. So, as I said kind of at the beginning, I just need to trim, don't you crash, just need to trim aileron a little bit there. Now the fuel's moving around. The fuse tank won't show anything, so I'll have to show you that. But there's our left-hand tank, because we've used some of that at the start, and our right-hand tank is pretty much full, because we haven't used much of that yet. But to have a look at the other tank, and I try and avoid using the EFB like the plague, but there you go, see where we got. So 71 in the right, 56 in the left, 25 in the fuse. And I'm just burning the fuse down at the moment. Yeah, I think it's the quality of life in Australia. It's what you certainly keep hearing from people who've lived out there, from Brits that have lived out there, that the work-life balance is so much better. You know, they work hard, but they certainly have a good time as well, and they know how to. They have a good approach to life. They do, Eric. If you've just got to be a bit careful. So at the moment, I've got. Don't come back. Do not crash. There we go. At the moment, I've got a fairly decent cruise power setting in. I've tended to find, especially in some group flights, that if you start messing about and putting on power and doing aerobatics and all that sort of thing, that's where you start to burn through the fuel a lot quicker. I don't know. Good question, Eric. Not one I can answer. I have never done a comparison on the burn between the two. The Mustang has a longer range. If you fill everything up and you've got your drop tanks and all that sort of thing. But in terms of how they burn through it, I mean, they've both got Merlin engines. Obviously there's different types of Merlin engines before people start dropping into the comments saying, I think I'm fine. Yeah. do love the Hellcat. Not flown the Hellcat in quite a while. Lovely aircraft and very quick. Yeah, the Spitfire is my favourite too, if I'm honest. But I do love the Mustang. Mustang and Spitfire are my two favourite warbirds. But I love the radial roar of the Hellcat too. Okay, let's have a quick check where we are. Okay, so we're not a million miles from Duxford. That has gone very quickly. So I think what we will do is we will, for a bit of practice, do a land at Duxford, taxi round, take off again, and then I'm thinking Coningsby for the next destination. Wouldn't be a bad idea. What's the wind? Wind is just going to check the wind at Duxford. Wind at Duxford is 280 at 10 knots. So we'll take the grass runway 24 right, I think, just for fun. Probably got a bit more fuel in the fuselage than I'd want to for a landing. There's the increased risk of doing a ground loop, so I can probably guarantee that with my current level of rustiness in the Mustang, a ground loop is imminent. So we'll head into Duxford, we'll do a run in and brake, and then hopefully I can keep the aircraft in a straight line on the ground. How much fuel have we actually got in the... Let's have a quick look. 21. Okay, so it's not too bad. We're landing slightly right wing heavy, but I've adjusted the aileron trim for that. There is Duxford, you just see it in the distance there. If I just move, there we go, almost, there we go, on the tip of the wing now. There you go, you can see the big hangars. So just lazily coming around. So my landings in the Mustang at the moment are the best, so you're certainly in for some entertainment. These kind of flights that I do are very much training familiarization flights for me. They're not, I don't do YouTube stuff to tell you how it's done. This is the correct way of flying a Mustang. No, it's definitely not that. So I can see the effect the wind is having, so this should be interesting. Okay, let's come back on the power. Advance the prop now. Okay, fuel booster's still on. To lose some speed so we can dangle the Dunlops. Okay, let's drop the gear. Start turning in. Touch of flat, not too much. Okay, all the flap down. Really feel the effects of the wind. We've done a slightly better job of a curved approach, so we'd have more visibility, but it's not too bad. Actually completely lost sight of the runway now. There it is, slightly to the left. Walloped it down, and there's the ground loop. I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. There we go. I knew that was going to happen. So a couple of things there. Having some fuel in the fuselage tank. Probably coming in a little bit high. And a little bit fast maybe, and then floating for a while. We did come down quite hard. Gear up. Right, let's suddenly realised hadn't set the next, where is it? There we go. There we go. I've just set Coningsby up now so we can see where we're going. Sparky, how you doing? Right, bear with me. I've had the dreaded call from work, so I'm just going to put my microphone on mute. You'll still be able to watch, but I just need to check something out. Bear with me.
There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. Damn annoying. Sparky. I wish I could do the same. Unfortunately, I am unable to switch my phone off, and I have to,
Yeah. Not much I can do about it. I wish I could. I remember the days where we didn't have mobile phones and we didn't have email and didn't have a fax. And when you were off, you literally disappeared into nowhere. But unfortunately these days, I can't avoid it. Yeah, I've seen that, Sparky. I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't get it in all my flights. It seems to be more. Actually, I don't think I got it too much yesterday, or did I? Can't remember when I was streaming. Yeah, the thing that puts me off doing what you're suggesting is I cannot be asked to set up all my MSFS settings again. I know your controllers and everything are still there, but the actual graphic settings and all that kind of stuff, I can't be bothered. Yeah, it doesn't do it all the time. But I cleared the caches and I cleared my rolling cache before I started the flight, so I know it's not that. But you're absolutely right. I know people have been talking about you know, this particular stutter with MSFS, and maybe at some point when I'm feeling really bored and I've got time to kill, I might just do the whole reinstall thing. But at the moment, I'm not so sure. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Acritide. Teams, isn't it amazing? If you had gone back in time, like pre-COVID, certainly before my company started using Teams, and if someone said to you, the people at your company that you work with are going to know exactly when you're typing on your keyboard or when you're busy on your keyboard and your mouse, and exactly when you've gone to make a cup of tea and that kind of thing. It's very kind of Big Brother is watching you, isn't it? I've just seen your comment, Lewis. God, I wish, mate. I wish. So we're just coming up to Peterborough. Peterborough is just over there. Do a quick cinematics. Love the shadows on the ground there. Look at that. Damn it, it changed. Okay, I'm feeling brave to do a flyby view. Oh, I'll just leave that there for a second, that's nice. Always nice flying formation with other warbirds. Okay, here we go. Flyby mode, engage, and may God go with us. And there it goes. Damn. Oh, there's the risk you take. There is the risk you take. Ah, it's so frustrating because that flyby mode is so nice. But yeah, it has a nasty tendency to crash. Certainly crashes my sim at the moment. But yeah, there you go. You now have a blank screen. Let's put it onto something that isn't blank. There we go. There's a nice picture of a Spitfire. What a shame. What a shame. Yeah, what can I say? I wonder if yeah, I wonder if okay. Did it close that? Sorry, just checking a couple of things. Return to menu. Yeah, it for some reason chase plane flyby view. When it gets to that point, can sometimes crash the sim for me. And interestingly, the last time it happened for me was in the Mustang as well. So I wonder if it's something. I wonder if perhaps it's linked to that. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So I'm just firing up the sim again. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to load in at Fenland. The guys that are still, I don't know if the guys are still flying, but I'm going to load in at Fenland, I think, and then try and continue on. I'm sure I've got Burning Blue Design Fenland loaded in, so hopefully that will work. And I will just not touch the flyby. I'll leave it alone. Hand off the fly past button. Damn, that is frustrating. Yeah, it's all your fault, Aidan. Yeah, Akratai, it's amazing how easy it is for people to get hold of you now. When I'm actually when I am abroad on holiday, then I don't have the phone with me during the day, but I have to check it in the evening, and you know, if there's anything on there, then I have to sort it out. But yeah, I can't remember the last time I actually had a holiday where I didn't have to check in case people were trying to get hold of me. But there you go. Such is life. Come on, MSFS, load up. Time for a slurp of tea, but you don't want to listen to that. Do you know what, Aidan? I just realised. We were talking yesterday about the flyby camera crashing the sim. So we were talking about when it happened that time we were on a group flight, and I can't remember. Was I flying the Mustang in that, or was I flying the Spitfire? I can't remember. Oh, it might have been the Spitfire actually. Okay, right. Let's get Fenland going. I just remember where the hell. There we go. Where did we come down? So we came just down over there. for Peterborough. Come on, scroll. There it is. So we will start up there. Flight conditions, check that. Yep. And we'll start flight. Yeah, I had a feeling I must be linked to the Mustang. There must be something about it, maybe. Maybe there's some LOD or something that there's something that kind of kicks in maybe and causes it to go a bit awry. Okay, right. So because we came down, the Randall mod adds some persistence, so there's going to be some things still set up, but that's okay. The generator is still on, battery can come on. Let's have those off for the time being. That's all good. Let's check the tanks. So it's reset the fuel as well. I'm going to take out the fuse fuel. There we go. And we can leave that, get rid of the tablet now. Right, so let's start again. Let's get some rudder trim. A little bit of nose, ram air is where it should be. Throttle is cracked. Prop is fully forward. Mixture is an idle cutoff. Fuel cock is open. We're on the left-hand tank. That's all good. Parking brake on. We've got the battery and the generator on. That was open. Open it again. Quick check physical controls. Nothing's changed there. That's all good. Fuel booster on. Fuel pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as I said at the beginning, we're doing the modern start in the Mustang, so we do the mags after the blades turned 6 times or so, rather than the World War II style where you put those on first. Just saying that for any backseat flying instructors out there that say, actually, I think you'll find in the checklist 1944. Hello? Okay, what didn't I check? Of course, the gear was still up, wasn't it? The gear handle was still up, so we're going to start again. The one thing I didn't look at. Okay, Kurt, you're having issues too. Okay. Let's start again, and this time let's double check. Yep, okay, there we go, landing gear, physical switches down. For people who love it when things go wrong on streams, this must be an absolute joy. There we go, that's where it should be. Fuel cock's open, tank is where it should be. They're on, that's off. Fuel boost on, fuel pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Mixture set to run. RPM down to 1300 just to warm up. Right. Yes, I've already covered that, Aiden. Got there before you, mate. Right, I need to restart my chase plane because that went wrong. So we'll close that. Move that there. Not chase plane. Sorry, little nav map. Reset that. So let's have a look where we are now. So having reset little nav map, you can see this is where we went down. This is where we crashed with the flyby view. I've now loaded in here at Burning Blue Design Fenland, which is a lovely nice little airfield, and we've got Coningsby up there. Interesting, we got a 19 knot wind. Okay, so we'll take runway 26. Seems like the safest thing to do, but oh, wind has suddenly dropped down. Interesting. Okay. Quick look around. All is good. Done the trim. So that's all nicely set up. And we are good to go. Right, conditions normal. Lovely. Mustang flybys. Okay, parking brake off. Make sure we don't bang into anything. Taxi down the side of the runway here. Just having another look at the wind. Yeah, wind is now down to 10 knots. That was a little bit gusty. Let's open the window instead of trying to stick my head through glass. Yeah, I do wonder, Akratai, if it is the Mustang. It's interesting, yesterday I was flying upside down there. Yesterday I was in the Aerostar and had absolutely no problems with flyby view whatsoever. It was quite happily doing multiple flyby views with no issues. Backtrack up here. Good to see you. I'm on here too much. What a splendid name. Sorry, I was just veering across the runway there because I was reading the chat. Okay. So stick forward and then we can freecaster it round. Dread, how are you doing? Comment ça va, monsieur? Okay. To the skies! Close that. Back on the power now. Yeah, I might have to do that, Aidan, but I think I don't know if it's too specific for them to be able to look at. I guess because it's you know, it's a modded thing. It could be the sounds, it could be the aircraft. It's hard to say really. But yeah, I will definitely not be doing flyby view again on this Saucy. Yeah, Dread. But it seems to be only happening with this aircraft, with the Mustang. I'm not going to test it again, but it's yeah. Yesterday was in the A2A Aerostar, no problems at all with flyby view. At the weekend, I was in the H145. I think I did a couple of flyby views in that, no problem at all. But the Mustang, it just gets to a certain point. It's when it's flying off into the distance, and you're just hearing the wonderful sounds from the Echo 19 pack, and then that's it. The sim crashes. So I am not going to be doing that again. Aidan, you're nose deep in making Class 37 liveries. What's Class 37? That is an aircraft type of which I have not heard. There's the wash. Yeah, I think it might be Dread. I don't know. That's something I mentioned just before, that I wonder if it's something to do with that, because it's at a certain point, and it's when it's in the distance. So I don't know if that's like an unloading bug or something like that. But there's definitely something going on. And yeah, good suggestion. Trying different liveries. So the first time it happened to me was some time ago, and that was in the standard Asobo livery. But it's happened to me twice in the last week, and that was with this particular livery, so I think it's possibly more to do with the aircraft, perhaps. Class 37 is a train. Aidan, you can't fly trains. I know you're a clever chap and resourceful and very good at spotting windmills, but you can't fly a train. Beautiful aeroplane. You probably could, Aiden. You probably could. Okay, so we're not a million miles from Coningsby now. Coningsby, spit it out. Put your teeth in, fella. I've got the Nick B007 Coningsby. Wind at the moment is saying 21 knots. 21 knots. So we'll take 2.5. Same drill, run in and brake, and hopefully we won't have a ground loop on this one. I did actually nearly make this into a circuits and bumps stream, but then I thought it's probably going to be very boring for you, but it would have been good practice for me. Still see there's that little bit of crosswind going on. Actually, I know what else. There we go. Right, not so much of a break there because I got distracted, but we're going to come back round. Right, quick look down. That's all good. That's all good. Fuel booster's on. Happy with that. Back on the power. RPM is where it should be. Dangle the Dunlops. A little bit messy that, because I got distracted. Now, ooh, okay, I was going to say it dropped a bit, it hasn't, it's now showing 21 knots. So it's a tad windy, with a slight crosswind element to it. Try a bit more of a curved warbird approach this time around as well. Keep the vis in, dropping flap in stages. Trim. Warbird curved approach makes it so much easier to keep the visibility on. It doesn't give you a chance to do nice line-up, but you can certainly see a lot more, as you can see, without the big nose in the way. Hello, someone's taking off the other way, that's alright. That'll be someone in a Eurofighter saying, oh good God, who is this buffoon? And there we go. Okay, flap up. Stick back. Wow. That is ridiculous. Shot up into the air there. That I wonder if that headwind is gusting a little bit. how to do it, Aiden. When you've got a Eurofighter coming the other way on the runway, that's the only way to do it. Right, blimey, I suddenly realised, where the hell are we going to go now? Okay, I've got to think this through. I've got to think this through. Oh, we Coningsby. You still there, Lewis? If he answers, it determines where we're going to go next. There he is. Okay, we're going to go to your old neck of the woods. So we'll head up to Grimsby. And then from there we'll see where it goes. Potentially East Coast. Although we could well be switching over towards Carlisle, I'm not sure. Love the shadows on the ground. Just going to get down under the cloud a bit. So we're going to fly over the Lincolnshire Wolds National landscape, it says. Quick check. Left tank, right tank. Let's switch tanks. Just to balance us out a bit. Get the right rotation. There we go. Do not press, fly past. There we go. Oh, it's so tempting though. It's such a cool view, but with such dire consequences. Batterby, this is the Asobo Mustang with the RandallSnow improvement mod and the Echo 19 sound pack, which for me at the moment is the kind of P-51 sweet spot in this sim, because A2A haven't done those yet, Lewis. Beautiful countryside. Yeah, this is the Asobo. This is the oh wow, wow! Streamlabs is very strict, isn't it? Yes, I saw your question before Streamlabs deleted it. Yes, I'm using the. So this is a non-RandallSnow. This is a Bomber 12th livery, and it specifically says that it's compatible with the RandallSnow mod. Oh, did you? Yeah, beautiful sounds. Really, it's amazing how the sounds just creates the immersion, make it a whole new experience. So we've got the Humber Estuary over that away. It's very sensitive, isn't it, Dread? The fact that it deleted a message because someone said ass. Took it a while to spot it though. Right, okay, so we're coming up on Grimsby. Need to start thinking of where to go next. I am thinking, yeah, I think we're going to go to Carlisle. So just setting that up on the map. Yeah, exactly, Battersby. I can heartily recommend it. I was saying at the start, I mean, people fly what they want to fly. I'm certainly not going to tell you or tell anyone, oh, you shouldn't fly this, you should fly that, and all that kind of stuff. I personally am not particularly fond of the Aeroplane Heaven Mustang, but this Asobo Mustang with RandallSnow mod and the Echo 19 is kind of, it's finally given me a Mustang that I want to fly in this sim. Finally, here we go. We're coming up on Grimsby. Lewis, my boy, this is for you. And good luck with everything that you're sorting out at the moment. I've just, my eye has been caught by what looks like it's meant to be a lighthouse, but now it looks more like a vessel. But now I'm wondering if it's a vessel that's pranged into a lighthouse, maybe. Robert, how you doing? Yeah, Batterby, I've got to be honest, I am amazed that Flying Iron haven't done a Mustang. Really amazed. What is going on here? Oh no, it's a special type of vessel. Is that a drilling support vessel? Maybe? I've got that Seafront Simulations Vessels add-on. That looks like some kind of a drilling support vessel. Oh, there's a helipad on that. If we were in a helicopter. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So we're just going to run into Grimsby now. By the way, anyone who has joined or just joined, Friday night in the Discord we have a group flight this weekend, flying Mustangs from one side of Texas to another, if you're interested. Okay, let's get on course. Look at the size of this. I guess this is all vehicle storage. They're not containers, are they? Okay. So, quick check. Fuel. Okay. .555 GTA. Do you know what? That's exactly what I was thinking when I was looking at it. Some of those ship models, they look very enticing when you're in a helicopter, and then you have a nasty experience as you fall through it. I had the same with a cruise ship some time ago now, and in fact it was Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. But I did this beautiful approach, what I thought was a beautiful approach to the cruise ship, and landed on the pad and just sunk straight through it. Very embarrassing. The passengers were not amused. Yeah, Batterby. I don't know if that's because there's another Mustang with me. Maybe when that Mustang moves in relation to the view. I don't know. But it's certainly when the view changes to where you're behind the aircraft, it's in the flyby sound seems to kick in. Yeah, let's have a quick look. Yeah, I'm just going to burn a bit more in the right tank before I switch to the left again. So, where are we coming up on? Okay. Oh, we're not a million miles from Leckingfield. Rather murky cloud here. The wind is now 27 knots coming from that direction. Definitely got windier as we've got further north. Glad the work phone hasn't gone off again. I'm going to play with some of these other cameras actually. But not flyby. We're not going to touch flyby. That's quite cool. Yeah, I quite like that wing view. That was kind of cool. Like we've got a GoPro mounted on the wing. It's a really good one to see how the light changes on the fuselage and the wing. It's a little bit murky where we are now, so you don't see it so much, but with an aircraft like this it certainly makes a difference. I do love that kind of vibration effect again, like the camera's mounted on the wing and the camera's been shaken with the vibration of the aircraft. It's clever stuff, it really is clever stuff. You know, it's funny, Batterby, when people say that. You just said you're surprised I'm not using. Oh, let me just close that. Surprising I'm not trying VR these days. I do actually have VR. I think people assume that I don't, but I do actually have VR, and I've had VR for some years. I've actually got Lewis to thank for that. We met up at the flight sim show in Cosford in 2019, and I tried VR for the first time, and it was I think it was something like a Cessna 172 or a 150 or something like that, and I was blown away by it. I was just absolutely blown away by how VR looked, and so Lewis, who's very good at talking me into buying things, talked me into buying VR, and I went out and got the Valve Index and had a blast with it, really did. But funnily enough, I ended up using it more for other things rather than flight simming, because I found that with flight simming I still wanted, so I've got a main screen in front of me, and then to the left of me I've got two other screens, and I've got things like Discord up on there, and I've got obviously OBS. I've got a little nav map, all sorts of other screens, and I actually found that I found it more useful flying using head tracking outside of VR so that I could see the other screens. And also I've noticed that people sometimes complain when they see streams or videos that are done in VR, the head movements are a lot more jerky than they are in where you're using head tracking. So yeah, I'm with you. I totally agree. VR is absolutely awesome, but when I'm doing this kind of thing, I tend not to use it. It's great in IL2, really good for combat and that sort of thing. Love flying helicopters in VR. Flying helicopters in VR is easier than flying it looking at a screen. And again, incredibly immersive. I actually, I think I told this boring story on a stream a few weeks ago, but I put the headset on my mother-in-law flying over Cyprus because she likes going on holiday there, and I flew her. So I was looking at the 2D screen. I was looking at what she was looking at, but I was looking at the 2D screen. She was actually in VR with the headset on, and I flew her over the hotel that she stays at, and she looked down and she waved at it and asked me if they could see us. And that's the level of immersion that she was at. She totally forgot she was sitting in my spare room with a brick strapped to her face. She was there. She was really there in Cyprus in a helicopter with me flying it, and that is how cool VR is. I totally get it. Completely get it. But I've actually not plugged in my VR headset in well over a year. So I do need to get that set up at some point. But I've used it in the past for a bit of sim racing. Used it for Alex, the game. That was an incredible experience. Quite surprised there's been no follow-up to that or anything similar to it. That was just an incredible experience. Excuse me, breaking the immersion with my coughing there. First time I tried VR, I finished my flight, opened my canopy, leant on the rim, and fell out of my chair. Yeah, it's that level of immersion, isn't it, Basabi? It really is. I remember flying World War I aircraft with Lewis in IL2, and I had a little fan on the desk blowing in my face because it was a hot day, I should hasten to add. But flying an open cockpit World War I aircraft with a fan blowing air on my face. No! Sorry. No flybys. Yeah, that was incredibly immersive. Sorry for shouting there, everybody. I suddenly realised it was doing a flyby view. One sim crash is enough. Yorkshire National Park over there. And the what is it, Nidderdale National Landscape over there. We're kind of flying through the middle of it, just keeping under the clouds. But we will be heading over Leeming. I think I've got some scenery in for Leeming. I might have Nick, if he's done it, Nick B007's Leeming, or I've got someone's Leeming. But I did some search and rescue from here a while ago, and I'm sure I loaded in some scenery for that. Actually, I might use it as an excuse to have some more practice. Yeah, we'll do an approach onto runway 34. Wind is showing 26 knots. Let's just check the actual at Leeming, see what it says. Wind is 15 knots from 310. Sorry, the reason you're looking at my left wing is because I'm looking left at my map. Yeah, so we'll do an approach at runway 34 just for a bit of practice. Quick check of the fuel. I'm going to switch tanks. It's quite an interesting day to do some landing practice because the wind is so strong. Yeah, Ant's Tiger Moth is gorgeous, isn't it? Really is nice. Fishman Barton, how you doing? Good to see you. I use the valve index. I've got the valve index, but like I was saying just before, I've not used it in a long time. So, what we'll do is we'll do a run-in and brake at Leeming and then do an approach. I'm just going to bring up the labels just to make sure. There we go. That's the mistake I made at Coningsby. I didn't have the labels on. I didn't realise there was someone on the runway. And the last thing I want to do is ruin someone's flight by come hair-arsing in out of nowhere like an idiot. So quick check. Fuel boost is on. Trim is reset. Everything's looking good. We're on the left tank, so we're going to be a little left wing heavy. Look at that, Aiden has loaded in at Leeming. Yeah, I think I must have the Nick B007 scenery. So this will be a run in and brake, then a touch and go. Actually, I might do a full stop. No, I'll do a full stop, and then we'll carry on up to Carlisle. Definitely feeling that wind. Interesting. Seems to be very sensitive to the to a bit of a crosswind. A little bit of rain. Yeah, that's Nick B007's. Must be. We've got the Chinooks. Right, concentrate, laddie. Kill the nameplates. Co-pilot Cat, sweetheart, this is not the time to come and have a chat. I'm a little bit busy. This landing is not going to be pretty, I'll tell you that now. It's funny, I was doing loads of touch and goes the other day at Duxford in good weather, and really had was dialed into it. But it's funny doing this where you're flying into different places, and it's quite windy. It kind of hands your backside to you on a plate, really. Okay, so let's come back. Let's have some flap. Co-pilot Cat, do not jump up there, sweetheart. Do not jump up there. She picks her times, I'll tell you. So just keeping the runway over there so I've got the good view. Dump all the flappage. It's not too much of a crosswind. Here comes the rain. Bit of an odd angle, really, this. I am feeling it now. Prefer to have come in more curved rather than just at an odd angle, so I'm not going to mess about. We're going to take our time. Kill the flap. Okay, so just in case there's anyone behind me, I'm going to quickly pull off the runway. This is unconventional and you shouldn't really do it, but I'm just conscious that there's other people around potentially. There we go. Taxi back. Oh my lord, it's bumpy. Okay, let's get back on the runway. This is not designed for taxiing. The Satco in the tower at Leeming is now saying, what the hell is he doing? There we go. Have a wee look. Yeah, we've got a nice position there. Let's just open the going to tootle around here. Do a bit of a slalom around the signs. Right. So I'm going to pull over onto the right hand side here. That gives us a bit of space. There we go. Adjusting our elevator trim. Okay, who's that in front? Ado, go for it. done, lad. Keep it going. Keep it going. Well done. Okay. So I'm just going to come over to the centre line a bit now. There we go. Creep back over. Gear up. There we go. Let's close the canopy now. There we go. That's very kind of you, Dred. You didn't see the absolute car crash of my first landing. My head tracking sorted out. Okay, where are we? So we've got Ado. There's Meko. We're all up. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it back round. And then we could head onwards. Back down under the cloud. Batterby, the best way I can describe it is because there's a whole load of stuff. If you go on to in the description to this stream, there's a link to his mod. Go and have a look at that, and then there's a whole list of all the bits and pieces. But it does subtle things like the canopy, but also it changes the flight model, changes the engine start behaviour, all sorts of little things that make it more realistic. But it just flies really nicely. It doesn't fly like it's GTA. Okay, quick check of the fuel tanks. Yeah, that's okay. Happy with that. Let's kill the nameplates now. And we are heading up on Catterick. Some people will know Catterick rather well. There's the old disused airfield, of course, which is there, which is now covered in autogen. Cars. There's also the barracks. Even a little caravan park down there. Let's get some external views in. Beautiful. Nicely done, Ado. I don't know why it's showing you as flaps down, because I know your flaps will be up. It's probably some... I'm guessing that... Are you in the Aeroplane Heaven one? Yeah, I think you are. So it's probably the aeroplane... It's probably some kind of Aeroplane Heaven thing going on. Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Dread. I've had a real world pilot say that that helicopter is a good one. It's quite realistic. Right, before it goes to a flyby view, let's get back in the cockpit. Nice scenery when it's breaking the cloud, that's nice. Love flying with other warbirds, it's so cool. I'll say it again actually, just in case there's anyone who's joined. This Friday night we have a multiplayer group flight on the Dreams of Wings Discord, flying across Texas from the east to the west. So if you fancy a bit of that, Friday evening this week, head over to the Discord. If you're not there already, the link is in the description down below, but also Streamlabs has been putting it in the chat as we've been going along. And that should be a good group. Normally Warbird group flights on the Discord, we get a good number of people up. Normally looking at about 12 plus Warbirds. And it's always great fun. Just a little bit of aileron trim. Quick check of the tanks. Yeah. So we're going to come up to the North Pennine National Park, so we can just see the start of that there. I'm just going to adjust the course slightly, and then we'll have some interesting terrain to go through. Time 10 to 12 here in the UK. There was a little part of me that was thinking land at Carlisle and then head up to Inverness, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Batterby, it's 7 o'clock UK time and Warbirds. So any piston Warbird, Spitfire, Mustang, whatever. Usually a good mixture. Usually get some few Spits, few Mustangs, maybe the odd Hurricane. We had Sky Raider last time, a couple of Sky Raiders in fact I think. Hellcats, a couple of 109s, 190s. Yeah, it's usually a really good mix. And I usually fly the Spitfire, but I'm going to fly the Mustang just to keep my hand in. Okay, cool. Checking the map. Yeah, let's do a bit of low level. Watching out for the pylons. Don't want to be pranging into any of those. Yeah, not really fond of flying in views that don't show where you're going when you're flying low level in the country. It's a little bit off-putting. It is so nice when you've got such a mixture of landscapes. We've got the green of the fields down here in the valley, but then on the hills you see those different tones. Back on the RPM a little bit. Running a little bit harsh there for a good fast cruise. Hang on a minute. I've got Mamu designed ski lift add-on, and I think it is. I think it thinks that there's a ski lift there. Yeah. Do you know what? Maybe there is. I have no idea, but somehow I doubt it. But it sings something there that it thinks is a ski lift. Do you know what? That could be. That could be. Let's get back on course, then I can have a look at the map. It's a bit like the other day. We were doing search and rescue in London, or HEMS in London. And good God, it is. It's a ski. It is. I'm looking at the map. It is actually a ski lift. There you go. Yeah, we were flying. So we were. Where were we? We were in London. Got a new mission. and it was to rescue a injured skier, and I thought, we're in the middle of London, you are having a laugh. And we flew over there to where the casualty was. Sure enough, it had found an artificial ski slope just to the east of Guildford, or to the north of Guildford I should say, or in North Guildford. And yeah, lo and behold, there it was, and the casualty was on the artificial ski slope. So sometimes you see something in the sim and you think, oh, the autogen's gone wrong or something's gone wrong, but no, that is actually a ski slope with a ski lift up here in the North Pennines. Brilliant. Right, so we're not far from Carlisle now actually, so need to start head into landing mode. So again, we'll do a run-in and brake. The runway we're going to use, so the wind at Carlisle is currently 19 knots from 290, so we're going to take runway 24. It does mean we're going to have a bit of a crosswind component to deal with. Cheers, Batterby. Take care, mate. Yeah, we will see. Okay, quick check. Fuel. I'm going to switch tanks. Fuel boost is on. Trim is reset. There is Carlisle. I don't think I've got any third-party scenery set in for this, but I might be wrong. I think I do actually, come to think of it. Right, quick check. There's nobody there, is there? I'm not going to ruin someone's day by blatting him like an idiot. No, we're good. here, feeling the crosswind. Crabbing a little bit at this speed. See, we're going rather fast. No, I think that's bog standard Asobo, isn't it? Okay, look at that. There's the crosswind component. Currently where we are right now, it's showing 25 knots, so my actual on the aircraft right now is, oh, it's just gone up to 30, so it's gusting. Okay, let's have a look. Speed's coming off nicely. Let's dangle the Dunlops and we'll turn in. Bit of flat, but I'm not going to use full flat for this one with that crosswind. Wow, the crosswind is really taking us. Goodness gracious. Kill the flap, and there we go. That was going so well. That was going so well. So I tell you what I did then. I took my eye off the ball when I was raising the flap. I wasn't quick enough on the rudder, I don't think. But that wind is savage. Where should we go? Where should we go? Where's the tower gone? Going all over the show. There's the tower. Sorry about this, Mako. I do it all for entertainment, Lewis. Of course. That was. It takes a lot of skill to do a planned ground loop. Does go to show though, you've definitely got to be working those pedals, because it can very quickly get away from you if you're not careful. I'm definitely finding it, it's funny enough today, it's ground looping a lot more than it has been for me recently, so I wonder if that's just me not concentrating enough because I'm streaming, maybe. Or maybe it is the wind, I don't know. Just not used to flying in such strong winds and with crosswind components like that, maybe. Who knows, that's my excuse. Right, okay, so that's all good. Down we go, happy with that. That there. You can stay there. Just clear the plugs a little bit. There we go. And everything calms down. Breathe the fresh air. Well, I've got to say, thanks to the guys that came along. Let me put nameplates on, and then I'll bang it onto cinematics. Yeah, that was good fun. That was good fun. Still very tempted to go further, but I am going to call it a day right now. It's just gone 12 o'clock. I need to get some lunch before I start eating the desk. But yeah, it's been wonderful having you along. Thanks for joining. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been good practice for me. I always find flights like this, it kind of, especially where you're focusing on other things, like focusing on streaming or thinking about other things. It's when you make mistakes, or when you learn where the issues are. So it's always a good way of finding your weak points, I guess, is the best way of saying it. So having done lots of touch and goes in reasonable winds at Duxford and not having issues with ground looping, obviously my next thing is to just practice in conditions like this. And what I might do is this afternoon, I'm not necessarily going to stream it, but I might just come back here to Carlisle and just do some touch and goes and just see how it feels, see how it behaves. But yeah, it was good fun, and thank you to you for thank you to the guys who've flown along. Thank you to you who have joined the stream. Wonderful to have you along. Don't forget, we've got the group flight on Friday night on the Discord. Link to that is all down below. The link to the Discord is down below. Flying Warbirds across Texas, so that should be good fun. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Great to have you along. Take care now. Bye bye.